Boeing.
Yeah, let's talk about Boeing. I know I kind of touched on it in my What's Up. Seems to be some good news. Finally, it's been a long battle for them ever since the crashes of the Boeing 737 MAX. As I mentioned, the FAA chief did a test flight, and he just was very upbeat and positive about what he saw as far as the new safety measures that are in place. Um, these planes have been grounded since March of 2019 with 346 people that were killed in the two crashes. It was absolutely terrible, but they're going through the entire retesting and recertification process. No promises yet from the FAA chief on a timeline on when these planes can get up in the air again with passengers. But either way, it's just some positive news for a great American company. And then hopefully air travel will come in line with that as well with COVID passing. One thing I did see on this was that one analyst from Jefferies mentioned that the 737 MAX, they think that Boeing will have inventory on hand until 2023, regardless of the certification, just because they have so many parts and everything that was ready to roll before the downing of the plane. So what do you guys think about this? Would you want to get on one of these planes anytime soon if they certified them? And do you agree this is just a positive sign in general?
I've
All
got a
right, here's
question.
my go ahead.
Let me have a question first, and then you can interrupt me then. Uh, my question is, what does the FAA chief flying in it mean? Like I knew he was going to as sort of a show of confidence, like, look, I've flown in it. But does that actually like speed up the regulatory process at all?
No, so it doesn't really speed anything up. It was just, like you said, kind of like a vote of confidence saying, like, I want to fly on it so that I could feel like my family would be safe on it. And the chief of the organization, him going into the plane with other engineers from Boeing, just showed that, I mean, they actually tested like some safety measures of if there was going to be some kind of a situation where they needed to take over and go off autopilot onto manual. That they went through all these different processes, and he just wanted to make sure that it was safe before even moving forward. So the fact that he said it was positive and saw some good signs seemed to be a good thing. But it shouldn't speed anything up. He said there's still several steps that need to come into place. Yeah.
Well, if these things are actually back on, and people are using these, I have no problem getting on one, to be honest. I mean, there's going to be so much extra scrutiny and measures that are going to be in place that are totally just over the top just because of, what happened before. So if they're released and people are getting on these things, sure, I trust it. I actually trust those more than the other plane, just because there's going to be so many eyes on this thing.
Yeah, my stance. I'll be curious to see what the European Aviation Commission, I don't know the exact name anymore, says about it, because they'll have to recertify it. I think once you get both them and the FAA, I can't apparently say that acronym at all. Once both of them, I think you'll see that as the true global vote of confidence. At the moment though, there's not even really room to fly these planes. We're seeing airline furloughs currently happening with no stimulus, and routes will have to be cut. So at the moment, I don't think airlines have a lot of areas to plug these planes in place at the moment, especially because it's a software fix primarily, right, Ryan? They haven't changed any of the physical structures.
Yeah, mostly software based. Allowing the pilots to override the software was one of the things they really put into place. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
the MCAS system. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for the market besides Boeing? I mean, you kind of mentioned maybe some of the other airlines are going to follow suit of whatever happens there. Do you think it's significant, or do you think it's still, I mean, like Andrew was saying with COVID, I mean, the demand just isn't high, and it's still just going to kind of stay the same trajectory we've had so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely positive news in the short term, but I mean, you look at Boeing; it's been beaten up from all-time highs and really hasn't recovered very well. Just like airline stocks in general. But they're more than that. They're also defense and have other facets to their business. So I think once this is back up and running, I don't see any reason why this stock wouldn't run unless we have a huge second wave of COVID, which could happen. But I mean, Jim Cramer mentioned yesterday that this is a decent time to look at Boeing for the long term. So
Yeah, I think what we've seen the past couple months is what Boeing looks like on a market capitalization value without any future like airline orders. And so you've seen the value of their defense business as well as the currently pushing out the existing orders of 737 Maxes as well as other planes that they're making both in Washington and South Carolina. So
mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I think it only has room to go up. It's a duopoly, global duopoly, them and Airbus. There's not really anyone else that makes airplanes. So I wasn't ever concerned with this company going under by any means, especially with the defense side of the business. And they'd make other planes other than that. And in terms of the airlines, other than some fuel savings, they really just need air travel to come back before they can even, I think, see any sort of legitimate rebound in business and share price. So that's kind of my semi-educated view on it.